everybody. Welcome to another Winter 2014 S.W.A.T review. My name is Kate, otherwise known as Narataki.
And I'm Alan, otherwise known as C-Suite.
We're from ReverseThieves.com. You can go there to get other S.W.A.T reviews for the season, as well as our monthly Speakeasy podcast.
And this time we are looking at Wizard Barristers from Studio Arms, and it is streaming on Crunchyroll.
And right before this, you mentioned who the director was.
He is Yasuomi Umetsu, who you probably know as the guy who directed Kite and Mezzo Forte.
So, it's about wizard lawyers. Magic has manifested, and there are a bunch of laws prohibiting the use of it in different ways, but of course there's a lot of crime being committed with magic, so in order to defend people who use magic, these wizard lawyers have kind of sprung up. This particular story centers around Cecil, who is the newest member and youngest member of the particular
Wizard law firm.
Yes, law.
Although there is another girl who has also just been hired on. Although we don't know much about her other than she seems to be very fussy.
I thought you were going to say salty, because that's how she was in this episode. It's very big action. We were talking about how it seems like nobody can use magic subtly in this world. It's only like big explosions, or you're not using it at all. So I guess I could kind of understand why there needs to be laws prohibiting it if the only thing you could do is like blow up city blocks and trains.
There's no like, I killed this guy by changing the chemical composition of his tea to poison him. It's like, I colony drop an asteroid on him to obliterate his body and 6 blocks around it.
And all of this sort of action and explosions is very lovingly crafted. Especially the opening sequence was these 2 police officers who seem to specialize in catching wizard criminals. They're chasing a perp, and like there's this whole train fight and explosion, which was really cool. I do have to say though, I don't know if it's just my age or, you know, I like more of the action part, but I was kind of like, man, I kind of wish it was about these 2 police officers who are chasing these perps, because they were pretty cool.
And they've known each other a while, so they kind of have a banter between the 2 of them. They're kind of like, just like, while they're waiting for the train to get close enough that they can hop on, they kind of like are quipping with each other, and that was they're a nice flow between the 2 of them.
Although it does seem like they're gonna, you know, be in the show pretty frequently, but I was like, I want a show about them.
Also, we did learn one thing from this opening sequence and the opening. Man, the director has something against public transportation. Because how many pieces of public transportation just got blown up between that opening sequence and then the actual opening?
And the episode, because later on some other stuff happens. So I'm just thinking that the people who work on public transit in this period of time get like super good pay. That's like hazard pay, because it's the most dangerous job in Japan now.
It's like, well, I mean, we do have health benefits. You probably won't
need them, because you'll just die.
You'll be disintegrated, so it won't matter what your like prescription rate is. But it's very good for the few weeks that you'll be alive.
The main girl, she has sort of a secret past. I'm assuming that that's her mom, who is a criminal, which is a pretty common trope, you know, in a lot of like either lawyer or police characters, that they have some history with a crime or a family member or something like that.
And she seems really gung-ho about like helping wizard criminals who were convicted only because they were wizards, so it would explain if her mom was falsely convicted of a crime she didn't commit, why she's rallying so hard to be a wizard barrister.
And the firm has a whole bunch of, you know, different kind of personalities, but we don't really I didn't feel like I got a good sense of all of them yet. There's the big sister kind of girl who helps out our main character the most in this episode. And there's also the main girl, like, they keep telling her that she's acting so young, but she is really young, so I don't know, like, She is young. It's not like she just is acting young. She is young, but they're like, you're dressing like you're young. But then I was like, what? The rest of you people are dressed like, I don't think people go to work dressed like this. That lady over there in the office has a jacket that says "Go to Hell" on the back of it. Like, last time I checked.
Kate, that's what do you call it? That's super formal dress code.
Like, it was very weird. And like the head of the firm woman who's like, she dresses like a witch, and then that other girl also dresses like a witch. Like she's got like pumpkin hair clips, and then like so I was like, I don't know if anybody in here needs to be talking about dress code. Also,
and then there's the girl with the like, look at my cleavage shirt.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know, but I guess she does dress like a high schooler, which she's just like recent. I don't know. Whereas
everybody else is dressed like an adult in street clothing, which makes it seem somewhat hypocritical.
Exactly. The main girl also has a frog. I don't know like how that frog is alive, because it's obviously like a sentient
I assumed
being.
That it was just a familiar spirit inhabiting, like, basically a plush toy. Like, she summoned it into that thing, and that's what I assume. It's just a summoned familiar spirit. But that is totally random speculation.
So it doesn't actually matter. The only important thing about that frog is that he is voiced by Norio Wakamoto. But also it's like a lecherous frog, and I really hate that trope. So Norio Wakamoto, like
booby and butt touching frog.
Yeah. You know, maybe not. The episode itself, I feel like I'm curious about it. I probably need to. I don't feel as though I got definitive answer to myself about like, do I like this or do I not like this? I liked some things about it. I thought maybe it has an interesting hook.
I do feel kind of like most of his this director's series, everything has to be 11. Like, those criminals couldn't just be like, your money or your life. They have to be thrown around fireballs and cutting her friend with the go fuck yourself jacket. And then she has to summon, like, basically a golem robot to fight them off, and they're all slinging spells. Like, there is nothing subtle about this. Once again, when that guy is fighting on the train, he's blowing up helicopters and slicing the train he's riding on in half and jumping around and fireballing.
But, sometimes you need a little 11.
I'm just saying, to certain people, that is going to be the selling point. Like, have to watch it.
That was easily the best part of the show. I mean, like, come on. The only other thing I could say about the show is that it's, like, cemented to me in my mind that this is the season of bad haircuts. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, that's all else I can say.
I will say that I did notice one other minor thing that I don't think was extremely important, but I did notice that the girls in the show did have slightly different body types. Like, the blonde girl at the office was definitely... She wasn't fat, but she was definitely larger than the other girls. And her mom was also, once again... She was just a little more filled out than I noticed that anime characters tend to be. Just a random observation. It's definitely, I think it's a show that has potential, but this was really an introductory episode.
But at least they didn't throw a bunch of jargon at us, or like a bunch of magic systems, or a bunch of explanations. I at least appreciated that they sort of just let us see how magic is used, see how people react to it, see how the police are handling it, that sort of thing. Like, there's obviously a prejudice against it in the world.
I think we'll watch more of it. Not a full recommendation, but definitely something to keep your eye on, if nothing else.